Well, this feels like a Banggood package. Well, it's a set of feeler gauges, primarily inch. They're all marked in metric as well, but the even graduations are in inches. The thickest is 0.35 and the thinnest is 1.5 thousandth. Lightly covered in oil, packaged in this carrying bag, which I'll throw away. According to this, the two of them cost $15.45 delivered. This is the Banggood sales page. And here's something for Comp Studio. I think it's an eBay package. Oh, I remember what this is. I bought this meter a few years ago, and it's probably $20. It's not a bad meter. That's not what this is about. When I unearthed it a week ago, I took it apart in order to see what fuses were in it. And I bought some spares. The $20 meter actually has HRC fuses. 10 amp at 380 volts AC. I have in progress a series of videos on putting this 30 volt 1 amp power supply together. And it looks like this outlined area was intended to be used for the heatsink with the power device mounted here. I probably will not use this heatsink. Guy who wrapped it took his job seriously. How it's marked. So here's the heatsink. Oh, look. And it looks like there's 70 millimeters designated for the heatsink. I ordered the only 70 millimeter heatsink I could find. And it turns out that the 70 millimeter would position the heatsink this way. It looks like it's designed to be positioned this way. In fact, it might actually work. It looks like you could put the device here. That's a 3 millimeter tapped hole. There's two of them here. This one's offset. In fact, this one is not centered. If it were centered, look what it would do. It would position the heatsink pretty well on the board. So if you're following my series and you have a case, that's the problem. This case will end up having to be very tall, see. But if you can afford a tall case, looks like this heatsink will fit perfectly. When I was looking for a heatsink on eBay, I found this. It's almost a custom-made package. It's a whole bunch of one of these TO3 devices. So there's 10 of these heat sinks. A little less than 5 inches long, 4 3/4 by 1.5 inches. Well, almost a little less than 1/2 inch. 10 of them were $18. $10, $8 from Electronics Warehouse. Alright, this is for, better get them out. Anyway, I've got red and black ones. They're little gold-plated cotter pins, for lack of a better word, that are held together with a colored bead. In my case, red and black. The intention is you could put the split end into a circuit board hole and solder it. I wanted to measure some potential resistance, whatever, on the board. You could just go through like this with your probe through the hole and make pretty good contact with it. Here's the seller's page, eBay, for those little tiny gold wire with a plastic bead. So there's actually 50 of them here, and say $3 American, 17 cents shipping from this guy. I believe this package is a set of filter kits. It's from Turkey. I don't recognize this name. I would have thought that this came from QRP Labs. Yes, QRP Labs. And it's a set of high and or low pass filters, all sort of centered at getting a square wave turned into a 10 megahertz sine wave. A little bit squashed. I mean, it's not bad. I believe Turkey was involved in this coronavirus thing. Okay, well, I guess I'm stand to be corrected. This may be some sort of a power amplifier kit. All right. I believe this heatsink goes to this power amplifier kit. Here's a dummy load kit. I was probably drinking beer. I remember these. They're the low pass and band pass filter. Now these are marked 30 meters, but I believe they can be tweaked to work at 10 megahertz. I don't know why I wanted a dummy load kit. I have a number of dummy loads. And a power amplifier kit. And they are from QRP-Labs. Now, I built a couple of kits, one a frequency standard, one a time standard. And the time standard is just a digital clock, but it's GPS stabilized. The signal generator, the signal generator puts out, I've got it set at 10 megahertz, puts out a 10 megahertz 3 volt pulse, a square wave. And I would like to make that into a sine wave, or at least have the option of getting rid of some of the harmonics. So I don't have any pricing available right now on these. A featherweight eBay package. This is two pieces of 2N 5109 RF transistors. Two for $5. The reason I wanted these, I unearthed this kit, well, this circuit board from, I think it's SV or SU1AFN. Anyway, it's a 2N 5109 power amplifier kit. And I bought this board, God knows, 10 years ago, or without any components. I did order a complete populated board from this guy. He said that mail service in his country was going to delay delivery, which is fine with me. I can probably scrape up enough parts to assemble this board. This is another kit. It was shipped from Greece by an amateur radio operator with the call sign SV1AFN. So Athens, Greece. I ordered this on eBay, And eBay promised quick delivery. As soon as I placed the order, I got an email from this gentleman who said that Greece was in the midst of the coronavirus and that delivery was going to be delayed. And he offered to accept a cancellation of my eBay order. I told him just when he gets around to it, because I guess they closed the post office or restricted access. Now this is an RF amplifier kit, okay? It's sold as this. Cost, what's that? $30 plus $12.50 shipping. And this must be, well, this is the seller. And I believe this equates to the fellow that holds this amateur radio call sign license. Now, years ago, I had purchased a bare board from him. And just recently, I ordered 2 of these transistors from China, probably, with the intention of building this up. I may still do that, but I thought I might as well just get the kit So he's changed the silk screening. The dimensions appear to be the same. In fact, the board appears to be identical. This one's got to be 10 years old. And he's got a complete parts kit. There's a toroid in there. Power jack, a couple of SMA connectors, and the transistor itself, I don't recognize the name on it. So I'll be doing an assembly of this pretty soon. This is an eBay package. Now, I have a habit of course, drinking beer. And when I buy something, when I find something to buy from a seller, I generally look and see other things that seller might have for sale. Very nicely packaged, I'll say that. I will say this seller packaged his stuff pretty nicely. It survived well. Okay, what we have here is, we'll look at this little module, tactical buttons, and up and down, plus or minus. We have 2 ground terminals, 2 DC plus terminals, and 2 pulse width modulated terminals. In the back we have the standard complement of ICs and stuff. It's interesting there's only one what appears to be switching transistor. There's none on the front. I say that because there's two outputs. So this is sold as a square wave signal generator stepping drive motor. Drive module PWM pulse. I have some wires dangling in front of my monitor. I assume they're just two identical units. I'm not going to power them up today. They're $5 and $3.20 shipping, and all of this stuff is from DIY Electronic. These are two little digital meters. I don't use any bigger of a plastic bag than they have to. And they're distinguishable by the fact that there's a shunt resistor here, so that makes this an ammeter. This also just has, you can see them there pretty easily, 5 digits. It has no other markings, but it has a normal power wire, and it has a current wire, and it appears to be a 3 amp full scale 5-digit meter. It cost, with shipping, $8, and it was from DIY Electronics. The package also included 2 of these. These are also one set of 5-digit LEDs, and these 3 wires tell me that it's a voltmeter. If we use the red and black wire both for power and voltage, it becomes a 3.5 to 30 volt meter. If we use the black wire and red wire for remote power, and the yellow is a sense wire, it becomes a 0 to 33 volt meter. What I have here is a pair of voltmeters and a pair of matching ammeters. 2 sets. 2 pulse generators. I cannot account for why I bought them. Well, I know how it came to be I bought them. Then I have 2 of these packages. They are 30 volt, 1 amp power supply kits.